Hello, welcome to your Soulprint weekly Pick Your Crystal reading. This is for the week of July 30th through August 5th. So we're going with pendants today, as you can see. This blue one is Lorimar. We're calling it Lorimar. Pink one is Lithium, and we'll call it Lithium. And this little beauty is Green Amethyst. And we're going to call it Green Amethyst. Okay. So take a moment, see which crystal or crystals kind of call your name, and we shall go from there. If you are looking for a private reading, in the drop box below is the email address soulprint888@gmail.com, and I will send you all the information you need. Just send me a quick email. Alrighty, here we go. Let's get started. Okay, so where are we going here? What's our story? Okay, so we're starting off with the King of Swords, Five of Wands, Two of Pentacles, and the Sun. Okay. So, let's look at the King of Swords. Okay, so this is often somehow connected to the law, to legalities, to documentation, paperwork, those kinds of issues. It is also about being very perceptive, being very kind of no nonsense. It's an energy, again, sometimes it's about things being very quick-minded, sharp. So why I'm sort of muttering about that is because it's followed by the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is sort of that cranky, quarreling kind of energy. It's not about fighting. It's not like a huge disaster. It's just quibbling, fighting, that kind of just irritating sort of energy. Two of Pentacles. This is about balancing your resources, maintaining a balance within various areas of your life. Of course, the Sun is just literally, that ultimate success story, really. Okay, so let's get started and see what this is talking to us about. So the King of Swords, it doesn't really feel so much is that this is being represented by a person. It feels more like it is about sort of your thoughts, processing your thoughts. Sometimes it can be about like ambitions, something you're wanting to accomplish, you really want to kind of get to the end of. I wouldn't surprise me at all if there isn't some sort of something you're dealing with that has to do with legal type issues or the law. So maybe you're trying to settle an estate. Maybe there is a lawsuit ongoing. Maybe you're just trying to get things like a will sorted out. Any of those kinds of energies. And it's interesting because the Five of Swords and the Two of Wands are sort of telling an interesting story because they're kind of talking about trying to maintain balance and fairness, trying to keep kind of everybody happy or all the balls in the air kind of energy, despite whatever this Five of Wands is representing. So there's definitely a kind of energy of, you're trying to focus, you're trying to get something done and accomplished. There just seems to be static around you. And it's created an environment for you where you really do feel like you're sort of, juggling, and you're trying to keep everything balanced. and fair, despite interference or quarrelsome energy around you. So the sun, ultimately where you end up, whatever this journey is or whatever all these represent, where you end up is in a place of a great deal of sort of happiness and success and contentment. The sun is everything. It is about financial security. It is about love. It is about, material possessions. It's just all of it. And so whatever this process you're going through is, there definitely looks like there's, a happy ending coming along after this. Because again, the sun is just all of it, right? It's absolutely everything. And so this is a great way to end what looks like just sort of maybe a little bit of a challenging situation you may be in. Oops. All right. And let's go with lithium. Okay, so the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Chariot, and the Ten of Cups. Okay. So it sort of doesn't surprise me that the first card that showed up was the Eight of Swords connected to the lithium crystal. So lithium is actually used, aside from batteries, I think, but it's used in the creation of certain mood enhancing or antidepressant type of medication. It's a very, very powerful crystal. But it surprises me not with the Eight of Swords, because the Eight of Swords very, very often represents sort of a jail of your own making. There's a sense of feeling trapped. There's a sense of sort of not really knowing how you want to move forward. You can't see your way clearly. You see like you feel like your hands are tied, and you can't maneuver out of where you are. But the Eight of Swords always brings the message that this is about feeling restricted, feeling fear, sometimes even being withdrawn. But it is your own creation. So perhaps you've been really struggling and you're having a hard time kind of finding sort of some emotional stability or some emotional, happiness, contentment. But understand that her hands in this card, like all the Eight of Swords cards, are not bound. So she really could just lift up her hand, remove the blindfold, and honestly step forward out of the prison she's in. Because the swords are all behind her. There's nothing in front of her. So this is about making sure, literally the short analysis, to make sure your thoughts aren't sabotaging you as you're trying to move forward in this life or come to some healing or resolution. The Ace of Cups bodes, of course, really, really well, right? Because the Ace of Cups is about new relationships. It's about new starts. It's about bringing happiness into your home or home environment. So, and it's also about kind of big emotions. So, as you're moving from sort of this sadder, quieter, more depressed state, it feels like things are going to start opening up for you, and emotionally it feels like you're going to find, kind of that balance that you were looking for or hoping for. The Chariot is indicating that as this process moves, you're going to find that things sometimes maybe feel almost a little too chaotic, or they're running just too fast ahead of you. But the Chariot is about moving forward. Sometimes it's chaotic, sometimes it's not. But moving from sort of a more depressed state into a more balanced emotional place, of course, that's going to feel maybe even a little bit unsettling, but it's going to be fine, because at the bottom line, the Chariot is about progress going forward. So And of course, lucky you, you're ending with the Ten of Cups, which is about, financial, family stability. It can be about property. Sometimes it can be about, an inheritance, big family money, that kind of thing. But so it feels very much like as you move through this sort of emotional process or journey that you're on, that ultimately you're going to end up in, you know, in terms of, sorry, you're going to end up feeling very secure and stabilized within your financial or physical realms. So, just again, make sure that your thoughts aren't sabotaging you. There's a healing, there's an emotional healing, there's movement forward, sometimes fast, sometimes not so much. And ultimately, there is a place of resolution that involves more financial security and clarity. Okay. And this lovely green amethyst, Eight of Cups, Judgment, the Hermit, and the Emperor. Good gracious. Okay. So 3 high arcana cards out of 4. Now, the Eight of Cups, it's sort of about kind of abandoning a plan. Sometimes just being incredibly disillusioned, sometimes feeling emotionally unfulfilled. So, it's a card sort of deciding or determining it's time to walk away from a situation that is making you unhappy, that is not fulfilling, that feels like, you're really not accomplishing sort of your highest good or your best good because there's just the path forward is no longer clear cut. You can't make it make sense, and you're that's just kind of where it's at. Now, I love that the judgment card follows this because the judgment card is, it's about a lot of things. I mean, it's about someone passing judgment. It is about finding your path forward. It is about karmic blessings coming your way. Got the Hermit here. And so the Hermit is talking about a period of quiet reflection, going inward, and finding sort of that which makes sense to you, for your life. And it ends with the Emperor. So this is, the Emperor is the Empress's mate, right? And both of them are about prosperity and about abundance and about, great success going forward. The Emperor, however, tends to be a little bit more about like commerce or business. So, just as a thought, as an example, perhaps you have a business or, some sort of enterprise, okay? And you're really trying to make a determination about whether you should abandon a particular road you're on and sort of maybe consider looking at things in a different way or from a different perspective. You're going to be making judgments, making decisions, and there are blessings coming to you as a result sort of the decisions that you made. They're asking you to not rush into anything because you do need a time of reflection. I mean, it might be that you have a great little, retail store on Etsy, and maybe you're thinking, geez, I wonder if I should go on. Maybe I should diversify more. Maybe I should just stop and relaunch a slightly different product or whatever it is. So this is about a time of contemplation and clarity, finding your truth, finding your, um, like sort of your own integrity, finding your own peace and way forward. Because ultimately, with the Emperor here, it looks like whatever judgments you make after you've had this period of clarity are going to benefit you quite nicely. And there's success and there's abundance there. And this does not only, of course, apply to just a business scenario, but the energy of the reading remains the same, right? You have this sort of moving away, this trying to figure out the path forward, about making a decision and blessings coming as a result of that decision. It's about making sure that you don't, jump without thinking carefully and clearly about the direction you want to go in. And the Emperor brings you, success. Alrighty, so thank you so very, very much for being here. I so enjoy these weekly readings, and I love and I thank you very much for all of your comments and compliments. Until next week, have a good one.